G'day and welcome to another episode of Real Life Lessons with a Business Coach. My name is Ben Futrell, and this week we're going to have a little bit of a chat about increasing your average dollar sale. And a client that I had many years ago that I worked with who is in the retail sector, in fact he was a pharmacist, and when I first spoke to him about getting his team to start to realise the importance of maximising the average dollar sale, his answer to me was, "But Ben, my team don't like sales. In fact, they're not salespeople." My argument with him was that every person in the business is actually a salesperson, and I'm going to challenge you to think the same way, that every person in your business is a salesperson, and they've got the opportunity to help you grow the business through serving your customers better and through making sure that the customer gets everything that they need. Now, in this particular example, in a pharmacist, most of the sales assistants or the people that he hired to work inside the business were young ladies, and most of them were of a personality type that weren't, if they didn't want to go and get a sales job, that's why they got a job in a pharmacy. And that's not to say that most of people working in a pharmacy are like that. It's just typical. And it's typical of a lot of retail sort of businesses. In this example, what we talked to you about is how we actually overcome that. Now, rather than talking about sales, we start to talk about how can we maximise the benefit to the customer when they come into the shop? How can we make sure that each and every customer gets great value when they come in? And how do we make sure that for these people that don't like being called salespeople, that we give them an incentive or a way to think about whether or not they're actually maximising the average dollar sale? So what we did was we did a couple of things. First of all, we educated people as to the importance of asking customers the right questions, because you know yourself, you go to a retail outlet, you don't buy everything that you need, you leave, you need something or you've forgotten something that you need, the likelihood is you won't go back to the same retail outlet. Now, the reason for that is because there's a feeling of embarrassment, or maybe it's just not convenient, who knows, right? But the reality is you don't go back to the same retail outlet. Normally, when you forget to get something, you'll go somewhere else so you don't look silly or it's more convenient. So by making sure we ask the right questions when a customer is in our store, we can ensure they get everything. Now, for example, if I'd come into a pharmacy to buy headache tablets, maybe there are other things that I could be offering you that you may want. Maybe you've come in for headache tablets because you've got a cold. Maybe you could get some tissues, or maybe you could get something else that'll soothe your headache, like like one of those bean bags you heat up in the microwave. Who knows? But it's about helping them all. It could be reading glasses. It's about helping the customer, not just with the Band-Aid for that particular problem right then, but maybe something to help them solve the solution more long term as well. And so by having checklists in place in your business, you can make sure that your team are asking the right questions. The next thing to think about in retail is it's vitally important that you get really good with your point of sale displays. And it's about having something on your point of sale. It can be totally unrelated, by the way. One of the things we did in this pharmacy was we put ceramic porcelain dolls on the counter at the point of sale, and we would say to everybody, "Hey, by the way, we've got these porcelain dolls, they're on special, would you like one?" And 3 out of 10 people took one for whatever reason. And we said, "Would you like one? They make great gifts, be good for care, good for whatever." We had a list of things of suggesting why they were good, and then we said to people, "Would you like 1 or 2?" And they would say, "Yep, I'll just take 1," and off they went. Now, 3 out of 10 people said yes to a porcelain doll. They came in for something totally different. So one of those things might have been they had a headache, or they were just getting a prescription filled, or whatever it might be, and they'll grab that. The other thing we would put on the counter would be things like measuring cups. You could put things like those little fold-away glasses that go inside the tube, always very popular. Just little things. It could be bags of jelly beans, and all of these things have a good margin, and they help each individual increase their average dollar sale. Now, the final tip that I'm going to give you, and this is the tip that worked the absolute most. All of those strategies are fantastic. You can upsell, you can cross-sell, you can brand switch, you can bulk deal, you can do all of that. But the number one thing that worked really, really well was we started measuring each individual person's average dollar sale. We put a chart out the back in the staff room, and that chart had everyone mapped on it as to what their current average dollar sale was. And of course, when you see a chart and everyone's got a little bit of competitiveness in them, it's very rare that you're not competitive at all. That would be extremely rare. So everyone is a little bit competitive, and that's all you need. They come out, they look at the chart, they don't even have to say anything. They don't have to even be a meeting around this chart. It just has to be a chart. And it has each individual's name on there and what their average dollar sale is. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to track that unless you are testing and measuring everything in your business. So my final, to close off this video, is to say to you that make sure that if you are looking to increase your average dollar sale in your business, that it's vitally important that you are testing and measuring. And the good thing about, especially if you're in retail, and this works in any business, by the way, especially if you're in retail, the best thing to do is to make sure that you've got some sort of point of sale software where when a salesperson or an individual puts a sale through the till, that they have to swipe their card or a wristband or something that tells the system that's who they are. Of course, sometimes it's just inputting their staff ID number or something like that. So that's very easy to do it. If you don't have software like that, well, then you're going to have to manually get a piece of paper and a pen, and you're going to have to log down exactly what sales each person got and what the average dollar sale was. So there's many ways to do it, but it goes without saying that if you're not measuring it, you can't manage it, and if you can't manage it, you won't improve it, and if you don't improve it, well, you're a sucker. There you go. Well, that's my real life lesson from a business coach this week. I hope that you're finding these of great value, that it's helping you make more money. Make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever it is, somewhere around here. Hit that subscribe button, and until next week, have a profitable day.